Hello everyone, it's VengaDragon and I got 3 decks that I think are the top decks in Hearthstone right now. I did some battle testing of these decks, so I got 3 decks plus a bonus deck that will help you in the meta right now. All the statistics are based on Diamond through Legend. I stream on YouTube, so I battle test these decks. We could do it live, we could go over them and see what's going on, but this is a general idea of how they're performing in the meta right now. The first deck that I want to talk about is Aggro Paladin. This deck sports a 60.8% win rate, which is really good because it doesn't really have any weaknesses. There's no class that dominates this deck. Its lowest win rate is against Warrior, which is just 55.8%. Then next after that is Paladin with a 56.8%. Otherwise, you're looking at a deck that has a positive win rate against every single class in the meta, which is unusual. I mean, Demon Hunter is 66.6% win rate. All the other things are over 60%, so you can't go wrong with this deck. The mulligans for this deck are pretty simple. It's Sword of the Fallen, so Murgle McGurgle, Goody 2 Shields, Righteous Protector, and Knight of Anointment. This deck uses a combination of secrets. It also has a lot of aggressiveness to it. You could drop down Blessing of Authority on one of the minions that will be on the board because it's got plenty of minions that have good health that will stick around and be able to be buffed up so that you could just pretty much just overpower your opponent. I mean, this is a very aggressive deck, but you're pretty much going to be able to put a lot of damage to the face of your opponent pretty quickly and close it out with Alexstrasza, the Lifebinder. The next deck up is Death Rattle Demon Hunter. This deck is crazy. It's a 62.1% win rate. And the thing that sticks out to me is that this one also does not have really any weaknesses. Its worst matchup is against Priest with a 52.9% win rate. One of the things that I like about this deck is that it features some new cards from the new mini set. You get something like Devouring Ectoplasm. It also takes advantage of Fell Rattler, and it has a cool legendary in it too. You get to play Kurtrus in this one. So the mulligans for this one are pretty simple as well. This one you want to get Razor Boar and Razorfin Beastmaster in your opening hand, Devouring Ectoplasm, Fell Rattler, and Kurtrus Ashfallen. I think one of the reasons why it's really good to have Kurtrus in your opening hand is because it plays well against some of the aggro decks that are out there. It can take out minions on both sides of the board, so it puts your opponent at some disadvantage because it'll take out 2 minions and it will also be able to stick around. The cool thing with Devouring Ectoplasm is that it's a new card that when it dies, its death rattle is that it leaves a little 2/2 up there, and the 2/2 sometimes has Wind Fury, it has Divine Shield, it may even have Poison. Another cool thing about this deck is the fact that there's a lot of stickiness. You're always going to have something up on your board. You're going to be putting up a lot of threats, so your opponent really is on their heels most of the game. And then later on in the game, you can bring back all the demons and all the different types of minions that you have with Enzoth. So this deck is very powerful, and with a 62.1% win rate, it's one of the most popular decks, and I think that it's a very, very, very good deck. It's a lot of fun to play too, especially because it has the new cards from the mini set. The Demon Hunter class really was the class that I think benefited most from the mini set. The other ones just kind of, there really wasn't much there. So it's nice to see that Demon Hunter has something that's very fun, very aggressive. I think it's cool. And for those of you who know me, you're not going to believe me saying this, but this is actually a really cool deck to play in Demon Hunter. I don't play a lot of Demon Hunter, but I think I'm gonna have to start doing it now. And last but not least, we have Rush Warrior. This deck is absolutely crazy. It has a 61.3% win rate, and it doesn't really struggle against any class either. The worst win rate for it is against Priest, which is 53.4, which isn't bad. And it's dominating Druids, it's dominating Hunters, it's also dominating the Mage, Paladin. It does pretty good against the Demon Hunter. I think this deck is the best deck in the game right now. And so let's just go over the mulligans. The mulligans for this deck are Venomous Scorpid. You also want to have Bumper Car, Athletic Studies, Rokara, and Imprisoned Ganarg. Sometimes it's not even a bad idea to keep something like Ringmaster Watley in your hand, and then you'll be able to get some later draw. You're looking to do a lot of damage to your opponent, and you're pretty much closing out most games on, say, turn 9, 10, 11, something like that. So this is a pretty aggressive deck. It's not necessarily the typical control archetype that you're used to with Warrior, but this deck is a real powerhouse, and I do think this one is the best deck in the game. So now it's time to talk about that counter deck that I was talking about. It's Menagerie Priest. Now, Menagerie Priest is not the highest win rate deck. This has a 56.4% win rate. So for the mulligans, you want to get in Draconic Studies, Wandmaker, Holy Smite, Venomous Scorpion, and South Sea Scoundrel. And the reason why I put this deck on the list is because it counters Hunter, it counters also Druid, it's a hard counter also to Warrior, it does pretty well against Demon Hunter as well, and Paladin. So this is a deck that you might want to consider using if you want to kind of go anti-meta. I've included all the codes to these decks in the descriptions below, so if you like some of them and you want to try them out, or if you want to see me play them, I do play them on YouTube, streaming them live during the week, so you can come by and check that out. If you like this kind of content, make sure that you give the video a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the channel so you can see more stuff like this. Until the next time, I will see you on stream live, and I hope that you guys are having a great time playing Hearthstone.